This week we will finish up our warm and cool color picture by adding a tree with a thing on each side that represents something you might see during the day and something you might see during the night. Let's get started. To begin, find something black to draw your tree with. This can be done with a Sharpie, with a black oil pastel, a black regular marker, or a black crayon. Start by drawing a black rectangle. We will start this in the middle of our paper, about halfway up. You want the line that you folded to cut directly through the rectangle, so make sure it's nice and thick. This will be your tree trunk. Draw this with your black media. Next, add diagonal lines at the bottom of your rectangle for the roots of our tree. Then simply color that shape in completely black. Make sure you use good craftsmanship to fill in the peekaboos and stay inside the lines. Now we will begin adding lots of branches. Every time you add a branch, I want you to think about the letter Y. Let's begin by turning our tree trunk into a very big letter Y. At the corner of your tree trunk, draw diagonal lines that go up towards the corner of your paper. Do not make these lines perfectly straight, as tree branches are not perfectly straight. Now, we don't want a big flat area in between our tree branches. So starting right in the middle of your paper, draw a diagonal line that slowly gets closer as it reaches the end of your first diagonal line. So notice the space at the bottom is thicker, and the space as it gets towards the end of the branch is getting thinner. Starting in that exact same middle point, do the same for the other side. Then color those empty spaces in on both sides. Now we're going to begin adding more branches coming off of these branches we just made using that same method. So make sure your lines are a little bit curved and make sure you add a second line starting at the bottom where it's thicker and slowly gets thinner. You don't want to add lines very far below your first two lines that you made. Trees have a variety of branch sizes, so start adding some medium and small size branches as well. Remember to think about the letter Y every time you add a branch. Create a line and then add another shorter line to make the end of it like a letter Y. Have some of these lines get very skinny and make sure some of them are thicker at the bottom. Keep adding lots and lots of letter Y branches crossing and overlapping throughout the top of your paper. Notice how my branches are not going down lower than the halfway point of my paper. This is very important for when we add our swing and owl. Now we're going to add a lower branch on the warm color side of our paper. We want this branch to pretty much be horizontal, but of course still make it like we did the other ones, thicker as it gets closer to the trunk, and then lots of letter Y branches coming off of it. To make the swing, draw two vertical lines down and then connect them with a rectangle that goes out past them slightly. The rectangle part should be a little bit thicker than the vertical lines. We're going to add a silhouette of a person in the swing. A silhouette is kind of like a shadow where you see the shape of an object, but it's all the way black. Start by drawing an oval about halfway between your branch and the bottom of your swing. To make the person's body, start at the bottom of the oval and draw two diagonal lines out. Then color in the oval and the triangular shape completely black. To make arms that are holding on to the swing, draw two letter V's on the body directly under the person's head. These should start at the body and end on the swing ropes. Add the legs below the swing by drawing a rectangle for one leg and then a slanted oval for the feet. Do the same for the other leg and then color it in black. Next, add the silhouette of hair. I'm doing curly hair, so I did curly lines. You can add any type of hair you want on your person, or you can skip this step if your person perhaps has really short buzzed hair. You also might think about making the arms a little bit thicker like I did if they are as skinny as mine were. Now we're going to add a branch on the cool color side. Use the same steps that we did on the warm side. So we want it to be mostly a horizontal branch. We also want to make sure we add more letter Y branches coming off of it so that it looks like a real tree. Find a place just above that branch you added to draw your owl's head. Start by drawing a circle and then two triangles for the ears. Draw a smaller circle down to the branch for the owl's body. Starting at the base of the head, draw a line that curves down just a little bit below the branch and then comes back up to touch the owl's body. You can even add little feet hanging below the branch. Now, color your owl in completely black as it is also a silhouette. For the final step, we're going to use a white oil pastel to add a moon and some stars on the nighttime side. I'm drawing a little crescent moon with my white, but you can draw any type of moon that you want. For the stars, I'm simply putting little tiny circles around the sky area. If you want to draw a different kind of star shape, that's fine too. Once you have finished all your details, take a picture of your art and submit it to Canvas.